Management of your food is still the single biggest challenge that's holding you back from having the health, body, and energy that you wish to live with. You are going to love today's Kirk Miller podcast episode. Since launching this podcast, there's been well over 100 consecutive episodes every single Monday. But I'm very conscious you may have missed some nutrition gold. So what I've done within this episode is handpick 10 of the very best food tips that are going to help you eat better in the real world. They're easy to understand and even easier to implement, and going to help you look, feel, and perform better in the real world. I hope you enjoy this episode.
The greatest supplement you can have is a great night's sleep, followed by high quality food. You don't have to rely on supplements to boost your energy if you look after these two things. Do supplements further enhance certain health metrics? Sleep, for example, I take ZMA, internal stuff for your health, your bloods, etc. Absolutely. But no supplement should ever override the importance of healthy food and sleep. So if you ever see someone trying to preach like a magic supplement that's going to wipe out a lack of discipline with sleep and high quality food, they're just trying to sell you the dream, okay? Putting a pill in your mouth doesn't override the fact that if your sleep is poor and you're not eating good food, then it won't do anything. Stop following diets with a name on. Honestly, diets with a name on do not last. Half the time there is some product someone's trying to sell. There's a marketing tactic trying to hook someone in, play on someone's pain that they've got this golden solution when it comes to food. It's bullshit. It doesn't last. I would challenge most people, whether they're following a carnivore diet, a keto diet, a high carb, low carb, basically anything with a name on it, right? Intermittent fasting, all that stuff, okay? Can you see yourself sticking to that long term? And does that meal plan structure complement your personal, professional, and social lifestyle every week, every month across the year, basically across all seasons? Because having coached so many people, particularly entrepreneurs and business owners who have travel to think about, holidays to think about, business meetings to attend, social occasions they want to enjoy, I'm yet to coach anyone who can stick to the same meal plan, whatever the title of that meal plan is, for 365 days a year. I generally think a great rule of thumb with calorie distribution, for example, if you're eating 3 meals, is have 20 to 30% of your calorie consumption in meal 1, 20 to 30% of your calorie consumption in meal 2, and then leave 40 to 60% of your calorie consumption in your evening meal. The one thing that would stay consistent across those 3 intakes of food would be protein, because if you're short on protein in the first 2, you are even more likely to binge and overeat to excess in the evening. But I just think it's a very, very clever percentage breakdown of how to distribute your calories and your food volume across a calendar day. And there might be some gurus out there saying, oh, you might go to bed bloated and all this type of stuff. Now, that's a different issue and maybe a different podcast episode. Okay, even if you're eating 40 to 60% of your calories in the evening, as long as you're eating that a couple of hours before bed, or you're eating foods that digest with you, well, then it shouldn't be a big problem. And even if that isn't, by some people's perception, perfect, it's realistic. And this is where people are struggling. They're trying to fit, I don't know what the saying is, square pegs in round holes. It probably doesn't even make sense, but you know where I'm going with this. Most people are just absolutely fucking deluded with their lifestyle and food management. And remember, the number one reason people are overweight and not dropping fat and unhappy with how they look and by default how they feel is because they can't manage calories effectively. They can't stay in a calorie deficit for long enough to drop fat to then create that more malleability long-term approach. And I just think a much cleverer way is to have that percentage breakdown when it comes to managing your calories. If I was only ever allowed to choose literally one food habit, I would minimize processed food. And that would come above eating 1 gram of protein per body weight, which I've said before in previous podcasts. I generally think that eating high quality food and real food is more important than optimizing your protein target. Because generally speaking, if you're eating high quality food, non-processed, you're probably going to be eating plenty of vegetables, plenty of fruits, high quality carbohydrates, fats, and good quality protein sources anyway. Okay. So if you are stuck with your nutrition, or you're thinking, why am I not dropping weight? Why am I not as strong as I want to be? Maybe why am I not sleeping as well as I want to be? Then have a look at your food. Have a look at the proportion at which your food is real high quality nutritious food as opposed to processed food. Tracking your calories and protein allow for a lot more flexibility. They're a lot more practical and real in the real world, because no matter where you are in the world, you can track your calories. Whereas if you're in a different environment, you're in a different country, different city, it's hard to take your meal plan with you. Okay, especially if you're staying overnight in hotels and things like that, which many of our clients do. But tracking calories you can do anywhere. Now, the pros for this, I've got my notes, do it anywhere, great for accountability, incredible long-term solution to stay disciplined. So many of our clients who have got in shape and are still in shape, this is the one thing they continually do and implement because it keeps them disciplined. If you are consciously tracking your calories, then you are consciously aware of the food you're putting in your mouth. And I just think there is less likelihood of overeating and eating more shit if you are actually tracking your calories. Because if you're tracking your calories and you're continually putting in poor quality foods, then you're consciously choosing to eat shit. Whereas if you're not tracking calories, it can be easy to bullshit yourself and pretend that you're not actually eating as much as what you actually are, or pretend that you're eating better than what you actually are. I thought I'd remind you of some keywords to watch out for on the menu, because these are the things that most of our clients, when they first join, are totally unaware of. And these are the things that are consumed without them realizing it, that leave them scratching their head as to why they're not dropping body fat or weight at the rate they want to. The words you need to watch out for are sticky, glazed, honey, caramelized. They're all going to be added sugar. And the problem with these is it gives you minimal food volume per calorie, and they leave you wanting more, okay? Other words, rich, buttery, creamy, they're just glamorized words for saying they've got lots of calories in, they've been cooked in butter or cream, and maybe excessive dairy. So again, if you're trying to box clever at restaurants, try and avoid the things that say these words preceding the actual food itself. And I'm pretty sure you may know this already, but I'm just reminding you of the obvious. If anything says breaded, battered, deep fried, no shit, you're going to have a lot of additional fats and carbs from the coating and the cooking process of that given food. You're going to drink alcohol, is pick the type of alcohol you drink based on what helps you stay in control of your food choices, all right? So pick the type of alcohol which, when you drink, you control your food choices better, which for me is beer, right? And a lot of people, don't drink beer, you can't stay in shape drinking beer. When I drink beer, even if I was to drink 5, 6, 7, 8, right? I've drunk more than that, when I've been out, right? When I drink beer, I am generally in more control because it's not as high a percentage of alcohol per the volume of drink. All right. So when I drink beer, I just generally control my eating better. I just don't get as pissed, but I still get the benefits of alcohol with, relaxing and all that sort of stuff. So for me, don't just look at what is the lowest calorie drink, because sometimes the lowest calorie drinks can make you get pissed quicker, and that's going to influence your food choices. Because I'm sure if you're listening to this, you will totally relate that a lot of the time, if you're trying to manage your calories, right, which is essential if you're trying to be lean and healthy, right, and lower body fat, more energy, etc., right, if you're drinking something, even if it's lower calories, but it gets you drunk, It's going to influence your eat decisions, because you all know it's when you're drinking, you crave more food. And the next day, if you're hungover, you will want to eat more shit. How many calories should I eat? Now, it really depends on your goal. If you're trying to add size, you need to eat more calories. If you're trying to drop weight, you need to eat less calories than maybe what you currently are. And if you're trying to maintain weight, you need to have maintenance calories. But before all of that, you need to have an awareness of what your current calorie intake is. And what I recommend is you track your food for a minimum week, ideally 2 weeks, so you've got enough data to really see what's going on with your body weight in relation to your food. If after a week to 2 week period, however long you choose, you're holding weight, then you know whatever the calories and the total food quantity is, that's your maintenance. If you're putting on weight, then you're obviously in a surplus, which is obviously a contributing factor towards adding size. And if you're dropping weight, you know you're in a calorie deficit, okay? But for me, if you are trying to drop body fat, body weight, and you're at the start of your journey, look to have a subtle calorie deficit from your current quantity of around 200 calories per day. You can be eating really well for Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday, and you think, God, I'm sticking to my diet plan. But if that 1 to 2 days where you have a little bit of relaxation is too relaxed and you're over consuming a lot more calories than what you think, then I guarantee that will be the thing that is probably preventing you from dropping body weight. Whereas if you can literally just take pictures of everything you eat, you can then, at the end of a week, look back at the food, look at your pictures, look at your videos, and look at it with logic and say to yourself, based on the food, snacks, drinks, or both that I've consumed in the past week, where is it pretty obvious that I'm overeating, over snacking, or I'm eating probably too many things that consume a lot of calories for a small amount of food volume, and how can I easily eat less of it, remove it, or replace it? But if you are seeing everything you eat, I cannot tell you how much more accountable that's going to make you, even if it's for a short period, with your food management. I ate way too much meat in my teens, 20s, and early 30s, thinking I had to eat this to build muscle and be strong. It's absolute nonsense. Now, this might relate to you also if you're around my age, just turned 40 now, or even maybe slightly older. But I just know that when I first went in the gym, one of the sort of universal rules when it came to food was, of course, eat lots of protein, but you had to eat lots of meat, lots of steaks, lots of chickens. So there were periods during my 20s that I would eat steak twice a day, plus chicken, 6 meals a day. And I don't even want to go there again in great depth, but I ate lots of meat. And although, yes, it built muscle and helped contribute towards strength, I look back at that period to now, even though I'm older, where I'm still eating a similar protein target, etc. I've got way more energy. I sleep better. I move better. I'm less bloated. My body's less inflamed. So for me, if you are someone who's thinking you need to eat lots of meat, it's absolute nonsense.